Hi there, welcome back to my channel Maple Mosaic Life Up North. This is Hamo. So recently I've received many messages regarding how depressed Canada's winter is. So I've decided to do this special video. Today's episode will be a little bit different. I want to share a personal story regarding how I spent my first Christmas in Canada. To spell a little bit, it was a sad one. So if you are going through some similar situation, I hope this episode can bring you some comfort. It was back in 2017. It was my first year in Canada. So I arrived at Toronto as an international student. At that moment, I knew nobody here, and I was far away from my family and friends. I rent a basement on Airbnb and it cost me around $400 per month. I didn't earn any money at that moment, so I just tried to save some money. My landlord, she was nice, but she was really strict about so many rules in the house, like I couldn't use the dryer and I couldn't wash my clothes on weekdays. I could neither cook meat in the kitchen. So these rules sounds not that bad, but actually at that time, it just made my life a little bit more challenging because I was trying to get used to the Canadian lifestyle. So on the Christmas Eve, it was just after a month I came to Canada. The whole family of my landlord had left the house for the holiday season and I was all by myself. The festival season, which is always filled with joy, I just felt incredibly lonely at that moment. I still remember how I spent the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I didn't do anything special, just ordinary things. I washed my clothes, I used a dryer machine, and I cleaned up my small room. Everything felt so quiet and so routine. It's totally unlike the Christmas as I knew before. So on the Christmas day, I was in the basement. I heard people talking outside the house, so I stared out of my window, which was a really small and half window, and I saw people walking their dogs just near my house. Not my house, my renting house, and it was the only sound I heard from people on my first Christmas in Canada. And later, I decided to take a walk. The streets were empty because people were gathering together in their house, celebrating the most important season in the year. And every family just put their decorating lights on. Bright lights and the decorations are meant to spread the joy, but somehow deepen the loneliness inside of me. And that walk was one of the loneliest moments I've ever experienced. To be honest, I even talked with the trees near my house. I don't remember whether I cried or not on that day, but I do cry less after that day. In that moment, under those twinkling lights, I just realized how solitude can hit hard, especially during the holidays. But I think I also learned something more important. It's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to have moments where you're not okay. So if you're a newcomer just came to Canada in that season, wintertime, endless snowy and cloudy days, and you are under a similar situation, feeling a little bit alone or a sense of isolation, I want you to know it's just a moment in your life. Things do get better. Life has a way of opening up when least expect it. I do want to share with you some important tips about how I deal with my loneliness in Canada's winter time. So here are some things that really helps me. First of all, you have to remind yourself of why you chose to be here. Me, at the beginning, I chose to live in a small town in Canada because I attended graduate school there and I really wanted to complete my degree. So just remember your goal and always tell yourself you can do that. Second, watch some beloved TV series. Something like Friends or Modern Family can be a great companion. It's funny, warm-hearted, and inspiring. Third, regular exercise. In wintertime, your body tends to feel a little bit tired and sleepy, so stay active is also important. Whether it's a home workout or just take a walk in the neighborhood, it keeps your mind and body healthier. Fourth, engage in a hobby. I read something from the book that you have to like something that would not change. So for me, a hobby would be something like this. I like reading books and painting at home. It can help me to concentrate and forget time. So you can try to immerse yourself in a hobby. It would be incredible therapeutic. Fifth, do some volunteer work. I don't want you to feel totally isolated in the new community. So doing some volunteer work in the local schools, local libraries could help you to meet more people, even build more networks. So it's also a way help you to practice your language and try to understand some Canadian lifestyle. I did a lot of volunteer work in the library and I met several friends which totally affect my life afterwards. So that is a story I really want to share with you because like I mentioned, I got several messages telling me how depressed I felt in the wintertime in Canada because it's cold and boring. So I want you to remember my story. It was one of the most depressed moments in my life, but when I look back at that moment, I found it also taught me a lot and helped me to grow a lot. So thank you for listening to my story, and if you want to share your experiences or your story, please drop a comment down below or you can just direct message me. Let's support each other in this season. Remember, I'm always here with you. Take care and keep exploring the life up north.